Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Joe Marcinek on Embracing the Jamband label.
Jesus, I could be totally wrong. I had seen some of your posts recently where you had mentioned and kind of linked to like his Instagram page and whatnot. And I just kept thinking he seems so young.
Yep.
Um, I mean,
Yeah, I think
to
he's
have that
middle to late 20s. Yeah, he's pretty young.
yeah. No, he probably brings that like a kind of an international world music
Yeah,
flair,
definitely. It's
right?
South America.
Mhm.
The guy's got millions of views on all his videos, and yeah, it's crazy. Whole different world, and that's one of the other things I like to do is try to bring different walks together where you have someone from the gospel community and you have someone from the world music community and then the Grateful Dead community and everyone I think is always looking for something new and to be turned on to something that's going to blow their minds. And so when you can kind of bring in all these different influences together, it really makes for unique moments. And especially with these Dead after parties, it's a certain built-in crowd, so I feel like I can take some bigger risks musically where no one would think to go see a Jesus Molina after a Grateful Dead after show, but I guarantee you not a single person is going to be disappointed with him. If you walk in and see this guy playing piano, you're going to be blown away. So kind of affords a little luxury to take this kind of risk of saying, hey, let's show someone new to this community. And I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, and I feel like that is kind of what one of the things that the jam band scene is really great for is being introduced to that. So that begs the question I have to ask. So would you consider your band to be a jam band? What would
I
you say?
do. I know that's kind of like the bad word, and no one ever
we
wants to
love
admit
that
it.
word. We love
But
that word.
yeah, I mean, it's in the name of your show. And my initials are J and B. That's pretty close to jam band. So, yeah, I mean, I would say when you listen to the records, you probably wouldn't think jam band. But definitely when you come see the shows, that's right up that alley. And if you take away the negative connotation, like a jam session, most musicians, that's what they love to do. They love to jam. And so I don't think it needs to be the negative word that obviously it is.
I think only bands think it's a bad word. Jam band fans don't think it's bad. It's like people don't want to be pigeonholed. No, we play EMD, jam, whatever they want to call it or something. But we're
Right.
a jam band. Just get lumped in. It's cool. Stake your little spot out and we'll all come see you.
Well, and if you notice on the festivals and the lineups, a lot of bands outside the jam community want to play the jam band festivals. You'll see a REO Speedwagon at Electric Forest or something crazy like that. And so it's really just the live music scene. And I think a lot of the jazz guys they didn't like the word jazz back in the day because it defined what they did. And maybe that's like the modern equivalent of jam band is like, if I want to play different genres, that's the easiest way. It's a jam band where maybe I'm playing jazz fusion and funk and blues, and it doesn't sound anything like the Grateful Dead. But if you say you're playing more than one genre, it's a jam band.
Alan was funny about it. We asked him about that, and he was like, you just embrace it. If these people want to come see me, whatever you want to call me, it's.
Yeah, and that's such a common thing that we hear too. So that's why I asked because sometimes we'll say, did you choose that or did it choose you? And for the bands where they kind of got brought into the scene, um, they may have a feeling about that, but at the end of the day, everyone to a person always says, but I tell you, you all come out, you see music, you support us, you're buying merch. How could you not be like really grateful for that support, at
Right.
the same time? So
Yeah. Oh, and that's once you receive that love, that's all that matters. Like you said, you can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, I want to connect with the audience who appreciates me, if someone's like, no, I don't listen to any jam band music, well, good for you. That's okay. You don't have to like what I do. I think there's 7 billion people out there. If I can get 200 to like me, then we're good. If we can get a little more than that, that's great too. But it's like, there's something for everyone.
We had Eddie Spaghetti from the Super Suckers one, and when I sent him an email, he's like, I'm not a jam band, man. He's like, I actually hate that shit. And I was like, dude, I love what you do. I just want to talk to you. And we talked about it, and basically his complaint is it doesn't sound like it sounds made up, is what he said. He said, I like a song. I like a beginning, I like a middle, I like a solo, I like an end.
Right.
And but he had played with Willie Nelson. That was really my impetus to talk to him, because Willie was doing his birthday, and
Wow.
he ended up on TV backing him up. And he had a bus story, of course. Willie
Oh
took him
my
on the bus
God.
and made him go on the Late Show or whatever and play.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's examples on both sides. I was just listening to this Les Claypool interview, and he was talking about how before, the whole jam band scene, like no one really liked what he did in the industry. And then he found this whole new audience that were like, yeah, we want you to improvise and do something different every night. And he fell in love with it.
Yeah,
So,
right. Like, weird. It's cool. We're into it.
yeah,
The
like,
first time I saw Primus, they were opening up for Anthrax and Public Enemy.
wow.
So that's where they were lumped in at that time, back in 91, 92.
Yeah, and now, you see him on all the festivals. So, right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I appreciate your thoughts on it. I'm just kind of endlessly curious and fascinated by the psychology or
Oh,
emotional
big
connection behind
time.
it.
Yeah,
You know,
some people have such a hard time with it, and I don't know. I kind of love it. I remember I went to the first Bonnaroo in 2002, and that was my favorite thing on that festival, was seeing different people sitting with different bands, and that made each set unique. Where when you just go see a band, they're maybe just playing their set, but if someone else is jumping up, now all of a sudden it's something different. And obviously it must have stuck, because that's what I'm doing all the time. So yeah, I love that, and try to embrace it fully.
Yeah, doing the set is an interesting thing. Brian Haas told us that once Jacob Fred Jazz Odyssey for a whole tour did the same set every night, but no
Wow.
show was alike, because it was just it's all instrumental improvisation basically. So it was, I guess the set was a theme. We're gonna
Oh
play
yeah, that's your
theme.
jumping off points, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And definitely, I like that aspect too, of, like you saying, having a song, a beginning, middle, and end. But I still think you can. It's like telling a story. You tell your version of that story. You still certain beats and character beats you're going to hit on, but yeah, that gives you something to lock in on. But then it also gives you something to depart from.
right? And it'll never be the same thing again.
Mhm.
However related things might be, and that, like, as a fan in the scene for so long, that's one of the things I love most about it is, there's going to be something happening that I haven't heard ever, or in that way, whatever it might be before, even if you've seen the band hundreds of times. And that's like super exciting. And I think that's a gift that we get
Yeah.
as fans.
Yeah, if you want to listen to the perfect version, you put on the record. But when you go see it live, unless it's a massive pop star or something that you're really expecting to hear that exact version with the strings and the horn section and everything, most people can't recreate exactly what they have on the studio. And there's a total gift for that, and I think it's great. I just do the complete opposite.
But it's more a Broadway show than it is live music. I guess in my mind, if I went and saw Taylor Swift, I would expect the Broadway show.
Yeah,
Kind
especially
of
if there's
thing.
some big multimedia thing behind them, and there's all these cued lights and stories and
Roger
animation.
Waters, same thing. You go to Roger Waters, you want to see the Roger Waters show. You don't go to sit back and be like, oh, cool, I wonder if they're going to do dogs or pigs tonight,
Right, but even like the Rolling Stones, if you go see them, I'm sure they're still improvising some of their solos. You wouldn't call them a jam band, but they're not playing exactly note for note what's on the record. They seem to be doing all right.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.